Good day to you. We are LT6, and we're excited to walk you guys through one of the hottest developments in the software development industry, and that is vibe coding. It is an era that we're starting to explore now where we are able to leverage AI to build out full stack applications. That's unheard of, right? So let's kind of appreciate how far we've come. Traditional software development has typically been very intimidating and had a steep learning curve, right? We leveraged programming languages like Python and Java to be able to build out applications that we need, and it typically required a lot of studying, a lot of understanding syntax and functions, variables, algorithms, and such. Today, in the past 2 years alone, because of the rapid pace of AI development, we live in a much different world where gone are the days that learning programming is intimidating. Now the barrier to entry is a lot lower and anyone can build great solutions. And today we're going to focus on some of the tools that we can explore today to take your ideas from zero to full stack deployment. Let's get into it. Let's talk about vibe coding and how it ushers in a new era of innovation where anyone can build the future. In the traditional world, where software development was done through leveraging programming languages like Python, Java, typically there are two groups of people, right? There's the business people who define the features or the requirements of what needs to be built, as well as the developers or the IT team who were tasked with actually building out those requirements. Now, in that traditional setup, these two people would need to keep, going back and forth about what needs to be built, and there's a lot of kind of back and forth on the development, going from version 1 to version 2, and it's a lot of time wasted. With vibe coding, it empowers anyone, regardless of skill, to be able to build their own solutions and take their ideas from zero all the way till deployment. So that's some of the benefits of vibe coding, right? It allows us to focus on solving problems, focus on the creative aspects of development, and not on syntax, tech stack, or any of these more administrative or technical nuances, right? Some of the other benefits of vibe coding include reducing the barrier to entry and significantly increasing the speed to production. So, for example, a business person could take their idea, launch an MVP or a prototype in a couple of hours, and then pitch it to a boardroom of investors or some of their other stakeholders to get buy-in, and then from that, take their idea to the next level and mature and scale it forward, right? So the era of vibe coding really is an exciting time so that anyone would be able to build solutions by themselves, okay? So in order to take you guys through the workflow of using vibe coding and how accessible it is, let's do a mini project, right? We're gonna use Python to create a simple text summarizer application. So for context, AIM students like us in the Masters of Data Analytics program, majority of us have full-time jobs, and we simply don't have the time to read through the huge bodies of text that we do in our course load. So enter this solution, right? Let's use Python and vibe coding tools to create a simple text summarizer app so that students like us can efficiently go through these huge bodies of text and just get the most important points. So some of the coding tools, vibe coding tools that we'll use for this include Microsoft's Copilot as well as Lovable, one of the most accessible full stack vibe coding tools out there. Now, some alternatives include Cursor or Windsurf, but for now, since our scope is kind of limited and a bit more simple, I thought it'd be good to show you guys what Lovable can do. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, let's go ahead and build our text summarizer app in Python. Okay, so right now what you're seeing is Microsoft Copilot. So let's go ahead and try to prompt this in a natural way, right? So I'm gonna just type here, act as a professional Python developer. You are tasked to create a simple script that will summarize text. Yeah, that sounds good. Assume that the user will provide the text via copy paste. Okay, let's see what it goes. And you'll see that within seconds, okay, it's gonna start thinking, it's gonna generate, and you'll see here that it's gonna generate some code and already put in some kind of explainer code, right? So it's gonna say, okay, here's a simple Python script that summarizes a block of text. Okay, let's see. Okay, looks like there's a lot of code. Let's see how this works. And again, the main point is that anyone should be able to prompt this and let it run, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to Colab, Google Colab, which is a Python environment by Google. So I'm just gonna name this, Vibe Coding Project, Text Summarizer, all right? And let's just go ahead and paste what we've seen. Let's see how this goes. Is it running? Connecting to Python 3. Okay, so it looks like there's a error, module not error found. No module named Sumi. Okay, sounds good. So it sounds like we're missing a library. So let's go back to Copilot and provide that input, right? Let's say that it looks like there's an error. It told me that there is no such module. What was it called? As no module named Sumi. No module as Sumi. What do I do now? So you'll see that one of the most amazing things about generating code with Python is that not only is it writing code for you, you can use it to already kind of debug what's happening, right? And allow it to explain and interpret that code. So that's pretty amazing. Okay, so it looks like it's telling me, thanks for pointing that out. Okay, no more. Okay, looks like Sumi library is not installed in our environment. It's giving us two options. One is install Sumi if you want to stick to the original plan, or two, use a more common library, okay, like NLTK or scikit-learn. Would you like me to do that, or would you prefer a version that uses a modern transformer-based summarizer, like Hugging Face transformers, which is more powerful but requires more setup? Okay, let's go ahead and try the more advanced setup. Show me how to use Hugging Face transformers. Okay, it's doing its thing. It's probably going to generate a whole new chunk of code. Let's see if we can easily copy paste it in Colab. Ah, excellent. Step by step. Okay. It looks like the first thing we have to do is to install the required libraries. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna replace this. Let's say that's our first step, installing the libraries. Let's go ahead and run that. All right. Nice. Looks like it's processing. Okay. What's the next step? Second step. Okay. Torch. All right. Python script using a pre-trained summarization model called BART, Facebook's BART. All right. Show more lines. I just want to see what it looks like. It looks like there's a section here where it's allowing us to paste a certain text of code. Okay, looks good. Let me go ahead and copy that. All right, looks like it's downloading a bunch of stuff. I'll paste my second chunk of code here just to be prepared for when that happens. Okay, it looks like it's completed that execution. So let's go ahead and try running this code. Let's see if it runs, right? Paste your text below, enter twice to summarize. Excellent. Let me go ahead and get this article. United Health asks healthcare providers for hack loan repayments. Okay, let's see what that goes. Let's say I want to summarize this entire paragraph or a bunch of sentences. So let me go ahead and go back there. All right, paste the text below, enter twice to summarize. Okay, looks like it's okay, it's factoring. All right, tensors are loading. Okay, let's see what happens. Ooh, okay, here we go. United Health's changed healthcare unit said it is planned to work with providers on repayment options. The initial agreement stipulated failure to repay could result in payments card. Amazing. Why don't we try that again? But let's see if all these kind of setup errors will move. Okay. Let's say it's the same thing. I'm hoping that it just spits out the summary at this point. None of that setup anymore. Enter. Excellent. Good, executing, it's running its analysis. So that's the original text. As you can see, it's extremely long. And by the time we get it back, we get the summary. Excellent. And it's just kind of limited back to, looks like the function that it generated said that the maximum length is 130 characters and minimum length is 30 characters. Sounds good. Now, what if we go ahead and try to, using context clues, let's say that I'm happy to kind of extend the length. Let's say minimum length is 100 characters and maximum length is 300 characters. Let's see if this will give us a more detailed summary, right? Let's go ahead and paste that. Enter again. All right, let's see what happens. Excellent. Oh, okay. Interesting. It's saying that our parameters are doesn't make sense because the text that we inputted was less than that. Okay, sounds good. So we can go ahead and kind of modify this. So let's say the minimum length is 50 instead, and the maximum length is 125 characters. All right, maybe it said 137 a while ago. Let's see if this works. Okay. Healthcare providers said they have received emails from United Health. Okay. Excellent. They plan to work with providers on repayment options. Excellent. Looks good. So look at that. Less than 5 minutes, we were able to create a simple Python script that allows us to leverage machine learning methods that I have no idea about, that allowed us to generate code using Copilot, put it in Colab, and then now we have working code that takes text and then summarizes it according to our parameters. And again, if you remember what happened in Copilot, we it was smart enough to kind of help us debug and give us options, right? And that's something that's really powerful. You know, it's imagine that using Copilot, it's basically like having a full stack developer who could assist you in writing really efficient professional grade code and also give you debugging tools as well. So that is just scratching the surface of what we could do when leveraging LLM kind of tools for AI assisted software development. Okay. Now that we've got a working Python script and that we've seen that it works, it successfully takes text and summarizes it, let's take it to the next level. Let's use a full stack vibe coding tool like Lovable that you see here and see what we can do with it to take it to have a more polished user interface and experience, right? So first thing I want you to do is to load the Lovable website as what you see here, and immediately we'll see that there's this chat-like interface that allows us to take our idea to app in seconds, right? So go ahead and sign up for a free account. So the free account is pretty generous, but of course it has some limitations. So once you go ahead and sign up with a free account, you should log into your dashboard and you'll see something like this. Now I've fed that prompt. I've said that I've got a Python script that summarizes text using the Hugging Face transformers, and I want to give you that script and I want your help to go ahead and build a simple but polished user interface for it. And after we fed it the prompt, look what it did, look what it responded. It says, I'd love to help you build that user interface. And then it's asking me information like, can you share your Python script with me? So I went ahead and did that. So it said, okay, I pasted the text, the chunk of code that we wrote in Colab. And from there, you'll see just how amazing it is, right? It responded with exactly what it did and what it built. So it said it created a beautiful, polished web interface that replicates the Python script functionality, and it even outlines like the features, the technical details that went into building it, everything, right? So once we have that, okay, you'll see on the right side that there's a real-time preview of what that application looks like. So you'll see here AI-powered text summarization using the BART model. Here's the input text where we can copy-paste the chunk of text we want to summarize, and some parameters, which is great, minimum length and maximum length, and a summarize text button, and an output section where we'll see the summarization of the AI. So that's quite amazing, right? It built all this in like 2-3 minutes. I didn't even have to think about, deployment, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, anything. It took care of it for me, okay? So let's see if it works. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that same chunk of code. Let's go ahead and paste it here, all right? I'm happy with the defaults. Let's summarize text. Let's see what happens. Okay. Excellent. Text summarized successfully. In less than 10 minutes, we took our simple Python script, loaded it into a vibe coding tool like Lovable, built a very polished user interface around it, and now we're ready to deploy it for others to see. So you'll see here on the upper right, the vibe coding tools typically allow you to publish your project as well. So I went ahead and did that, and go ahead and publish your project, you'll end up with a dedicated URL. Of course, you can customize the domain URL if you go for the more premium plans. But for now, I have something like this. And I'll go ahead and paste that same thing just to make sure that it does work. And if I click summarize text, okay. Wait for it to load. Excellent. And just like that, less than 1 hour, we were able to create a full stack application that we took from script to deployment. Amazing. Hope you guys learned something new. Hope you guys are empowered to build your own solutions and take your ideas from zero till production. Thank you so much.